Hi, so welcome back, second and third grade. So, we are going to be working on a drawing today. And hopefully, you just watched the video about Mary Cassatt, a famous American impressionist who focused on doing paintings of family life and of people. And so what we're going to do in today's lesson is you want to pick a family member or yourself. You can take a picture of them using your school device, whether it's an iPad or a computer, and that's going to be your inspiration for this lesson. And so the idea is what we want to do is we want to create a work of art that's about our lives at home. And people are a really important part of that. So this will be partially somewhat of a portrait drawing, but what you want to do is draw that person that you choose, whether it's yourself or your family members, doing something that they would normally do in everyday life. And so for my example, I am going to use my kiddo, my son, and a very normal part of our everyday life these days is when we have to feed him. And so I did a quick sketch of him on my paper here. And what I'm going to do is complete a drawing, and I'm just going to use crayons. The impressionistic art style was not super precise. And so crayons are pretty good for just kind of a sketchy drawing because they're not really precise. They can't get you that nice tip that a pencil can, but it'll give us the impression of an event, a time, just 1 second in time. And that's what the Impressionists were all about. And so that's what we're going to do for this project. And you are going to work at your skill level and do your best to draw a portrait. Just remember, guys, it's not going to look exactly like mine. And that's okay. You're going to work at your skill level and do your best to draw whomever you choose. And the drawing is not necessarily about how well you can draw either, but more so how well you can capture that idea, that event that you guys are doing at home in your life. And so that's the most important part. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw and add colors and all sorts of things. I'm not going to be super detailed, and I'm going to keep it pretty simple. But this is just an example of how you can do this project. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and get started and color this in. It'll mostly be just me coloring for the rest of the video, but it'll help give you ideas as to what you can do, colors you can use. And like I said, I'm using crayons, so that's 100% okay for you to do. All right, here I go. All right, students, so I'm just going to stop there. You get the idea. Yet again, we're shooting for kind of like some of the same colors that Marie Cassatt used in her drawings and paintings. Most of them are pretty light colors. They're pretty bright. The darkest thing I had is the hair and the eyes in this, and I used some black for that, but there's a lot of brown in it too. For the shadows, believe it or not, I used blues. And so that's kind of the idea. It's just you want to do a quick sketch as fast as you can to set everything up, and then you're going to start filling all this information in. And yet again, you don't have to do this, and yours isn't going to be as detailed as mine, and there's nothing wrong with that. I don't want you to necessarily try to imitate what I can do. You need to be able to do what you can do. And so I want to see, like I said, it's more about the actual drawing itself and the idea for the drawing, which is showing a scene of home life or something along that lines. And so you don't necessarily want for it to be doesn't have to be the greatest drawing ever, in other words, in that situation. All right, students, so I'm going to stop it there. I hope you have really fun with this, and I will go ahead and I'll post this after I'm finished.